What's up, everybody? This is Colin from Homestead. I hope you're all well. There's a storm coming, and I mean that in more than one way. Where we live, there's actually a storm coming, and they're calling for a lot of snow. And you know how weather goes. It might be, might not be, but either way, people are doing what people do, and that is be purely reactive, purely emotional, and foolish, in my opinion, right? Hang with me. Please open your minds, open your hearts right now, because I'm about to come at you with something that is the opposite of what you see every day on the media, the opposite of what your government overlords tell you, and that's why there's truth in it. It's almost a game in our household, and people that I know that have brain cells. When the media says something, it doesn't matter, because you think it's like this weird political paradigm. It doesn't matter. When the media says something, or the government says something, you could almost mathematically be sure that the polar opposite of what they're saying is actually true. Sincerely, and I mean that from observational truth, everything I've ever researched in my entire life, my understanding of current events in history, and having a good logic train, keeping critical thinking capabilities, right? I am telling you folks, there's a snowstorm coming. People are freaking out, and where we live, in the Ozarks, they're clearing out shelves. Shelves are empty, and local supermarkets, empty. Why? Well, let's think logically now, because a lot of people, they like to parrot the narrative. And the narrative says, preppers are bad, they're selfish, they're hoarders. Preppers are stupid. They're like those people on those TV shows that they make look really dumb. I'm not a prepper. I'll just order from Amazon. They'll be here tomorrow. I'll just get takeout and go to the local supermarket. You want to know who the real stupid people are? The unprepared. Yeah. Want to know why? When things like this happen, normal, everyday things like a bad storm, preppers are not worried. Actually, it's kind of like a little mini vacation. You relax, you eat very well, and you're going to say right away, somebody out there knows, like, there's socioeconomic differences to be... No, stop it. No. I know very, very, very poor people that still prepare in your own way. Preparedness is not just about hoarding things. Hoarding, I hate that word, it's so stupid. Hoarding is like different. It's like when you gather things that are useless, that you never use or never will, right? Yeah, it could also be skill sets you learn, the community you build, just being task-oriented and getting things done, staying up with your maintenance and your supplies, like common sense stuff, right? So the better question is, why does the media and the government vilify and demonize preppers, survivalists? Why do they use these weird buzzwords like hoarding and they're selfish? Why do they say that? You want to know why? The government likes money to circulate as fast as possible. It's called like money velocity is part of it, right? The consumerism we have is not good consumerism. Capitalism that we have is not the Adam Smith wealth of nations free market. It's a perverted, bastardized version of crony capitalism, which will eventually evolve, or devolve rather, to something almost as bad as communism. Yeah, hang with me. Communism is the faster way to get to starvation and breadlines and rations and stuff. The other side of the political spectrum just gets there a little bit slower, but they're all the same. They are illusory dichotomies meant to divide and confuse. Hear me. What is wrong about prepping? Do you say in nature, oh, that bear is really selfish and stupid for eating all that fish and getting ready to hibernate? That stupid bear. Or those squirrels, putting all those nuts away and eating them and stuff. Wow, they're just paranoid. Those squirrels are paranoid. When animals defend themselves, are they paranoid? Are they living in fear? No, you've been lied to. I'm here to posit the argument that it's actually the exact opposite. I worry about the unprepared idiots out there who have done nothing for their families or themselves or their community to prepare. I'm worried about the idiots who have nothing in the refrigerator, nothing in the pantry, nothing stored. And this is not about money, because you don't need money to do this. Dollar store, dried grains, like you can get money for pennies on the dollar. I've actually proven this. I proved it as a poor bachelor for many years, okay? I can tell you. Don't talk to me about, stop, just stop it. You've been lied to. Preppers are the people you want in your community because they're not going to be desperate. Desperate people do desperate and violent things. Hurt people hurt people. People that are hurting, whether it's mentally, physically, emotionally, they're the ones that lash out and hurt other people. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Some of y'all just haters. You're just jealous. You're just upset because you go and spend money on cable and Netflix and sports games and Starbucks and I can go on and on and on of the stuff that people waste their money on. And these horrible, evil, selfish preppers getting an extra 2 cans of vegetables or meat every time they go food shopping because they're being responsible. Would you call somebody selfish for saving money? For investing their discretionary income? No, that's called smart. So why is it when it comes to preparedness, food, shelter, clothing, livestock, whatever, all of a sudden that's bad? How dumb can you be? It's what our ancestors have done forever. Everybody did that. And if you're not doing it, I know people are going to get mad at me, but it's fine. It's fine. I doubt how much you really love your families. If you plead ignorance, maybe I'll accept that. But how much can you really love your families? Especially men out there. Men. The leaders of the household. Right? How are you not leading your family to preparedness? Natural disasters happen. Tornadoes happen. Hurricanes happen. Typhoons happen. Flooding happens. Flash floods happen. Extreme heat happens, extreme cold happens. Job loss happens, right? Injury happens, sickness happens. Riots happen. Everything happens. You have to, and this is a different video, I'm going to touch and go for some of you who actually have something going on up here. Think about why. It is an agenda, it is purposeful, it is an agenda. Why would the powers that be, which is government and media, which by the way are almost one entity, do your research, okay? Why would they want to demonize us? Because again, we're harder to control. That's it. When you're self-reliant, you're self-sufficient, you don't need, Daddy, government, take care of me. You don't need that. You don't need the handouts, the bread lines, the rations. And for you idiots who are calling for, first of all, you want to lose me as a friend and lose all respect for me? I'll still talk to you and try to teach you because I don't believe in shutting people out or canceling them. But you want me to really think that you are limited? Say things like this to me. The government really should. Period. We need less of the government in our lives, folks. Less. Not more. Not more. And people always want to use the daddy government. Step in, take care of this daddy. When it works for their agenda, for their personal agenda, or for their limitations. They didn't save money. Government, take care of me. Give me money. They didn't prepare. Government, protect me. They didn't put food away. Government, feed me. They don't like what someone else says. Government, shut them up. Yeah, you know it. So, men, women, mature people out there, take care of your families. You're not a hoarder by slowly preparing and stockpiling. You're smart. You're smart. You're not a hoarder by saving your money slowly, paycheck by paycheck. You're smart. You're smart. I thought this was common sense, but apparently we live in a clown world that is upside down. Don't tell me it's not. Don't tell me it's not. When bad things are good and good things are bad. When timeless, priceless, intersubjectively agreed upon wisdom is now demonized. And the people doing the right thing for their families are now like, made fun of, or mocked. That's why I'm snapping back. I'm clapping back. I'm mocking you for being an idiot and not loving your family enough to prepare. If there's a bad storm or a bad event happening and you had the ability to go and get a stockpile of food or get a generator or make sure your house is insulated or get some firewood or whatever it may be to prepare and make those things something you can navigate, but you went to a concert, but you're gambling, you spend 3 hours a day, which is the statistical average, which is 21 hours a week. That's a part-time, approaching a full-time job, like watching TV. Then yeah, I mean, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Again, the shelves are cleared out here. And we live in a very self-reliant, very insulated community. Shelves are clearing out. Why? Because the idiots who don't have more than like a day's worth of food, don't know how to cook, and again, cooking, this is why cooking is important. They're running out there and grabbing all the wrong things. We need like 8 boxes of Cheerios and cereal and 3 gallons of milk and bread and beer and whiskey and liquor. Like you're an idiot. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? And you're going to talk about the people that have done this slowly and prepared? And to be honest with you, I'm going to get right into it. Hang with me. Is it really wrong for somebody to go in and buy as much toilet paper as they can? Is it? I don't have enough time to get into this. But if I had time to debate y'all, I could do that. I say it's not wrong. We live in a first come, first serve society. If you have the medium of exchange, money, to purchase goods or services, the government and nobody should get in the way of that. When you start saying they should limit that and this and limit and ration and control, Stalin would be your best friend. Mao Zedong would be your best friend. Pol Pot. And these horrible, horrible leftists that drag their countries into genocide and starvation and what are you doing? Because the things you advocate for, the things you fight for and call for, not even knowing how stupid it is going to hurt your own family. It's going to hurt your own lineage, your own legacy. Trust in that. Pick up a history book, which they've already, again, why would they want to manipulate and change history? History's not malleable, it's the thing. Why? You know why. Same reason that they demonize preppers like me and preppers like you. They can't control us as much. Everyone's jealous nowadays. The covetousness, you can cut it with a knife. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Don't think that bad things won't happen to you. Again, everyone wants to be super positive. I like this New Age spiritualism. It doesn't make you a negative person to prepare. Preparing makes you secure and not paranoid and very happy, right? The opposite of what they're telling you. I don't think if somebody gets to the supermarket before I do, the early bird catches the worm, that I deserve to have that toilet paper or that food or whatever. I should have been prepared. Maybe people will learn. Maybe they'll learn, right? You don't know their situation. You don't know how many people they're taking care of at home or above or beyond, elderly, they're dropping things off to. You don't know. Shut your mouth. Focus on you. Do you, haters. Again, personally, we don't go and grab everything. And we've actually been in the situation where we could have grabbed things. We still leave some for others because that's just because we prepared. We could do that. We don't need it. You see? Do you see how it works? The people that are not prepared, that don't think ahead or plan for anything, are the idiots. Now, what if you work very hard and you save every little penny you can, all your discretionary income, and you go and you actually get an extra can of food a week to make sure your family can eat in case there's a hurricane or a tornado or job loss or any of the aforementioned reasons, right? I don't think the people sitting there smoking blunts and drinking 40 ounces on their steps hanging out have a right to your food, what you worked hard for, because you sacrificed for it. You sacrificed for it. You know how many times my wife and I look at each other and say, you know, sweetheart, maybe we really shouldn't do a vacation this year. Maybe we should defer it or postpone it, or we should do a more humble vacation because we need to be prepared. We need to be responsible. Don't spend what you don't have, that type of stuff. Other people don't do that. The culture now is no delayed gratification. I want it, I'm entitled to it, and I want it right now. Like, what a horrible mixture. Horrible mixture. And again, generalizations are generalizations. There are absolutely outliers in all generations and all subcultures and whatever, right? I know a lot of young people that are way more advanced than baby boomers and older when it comes to preparedness. Listen, there's a storm coming. We've got a storm coming tonight and tomorrow, but there's a storm coming. And storms will come, but I'm telling you, we're in the storm. And sometimes when you get caught in the eye of the storm, you think that everything is calm and cool and collected. Hang tight, you're on for a wild ride, folks. And that's my heart to yours. Take it or not. I have a very, very, very good report card when it comes to being right about this stuff. Ask anybody who knows me. Storm is coming. Be the prepper. Let them call you names. You're a hoarder. They're idiots. They're stupid. They're wrong. Okay? The fools are the people who have nothing in their refrigerators, nothing in their pantries, but do all that other stuff, waste their money, and they want to go out and grab things that are not even intelligent to get during a storm or, Your stored food, your stored water is a hedge against inflation. It is actually an investment. And it's a buffer that can keep you safe and save lives. Whether it's for you or the elderly people next door, the mentally handicapped, or the people that are less fortunate, it doesn't matter. You're selfish by not preparing. And foolish for thinking that everything will be there at your fingertips at all times, at any moment. Please hear me. Please listen. I got nothing but love for you. How are you preparing for the storm? And again, I think this whole preparedness thing needs to be definitely its own series of videos, because there's so many things I touched on that if you take it superficially, you could probably volley a debate or think you could volley a debate. But logic always wins, right? Any of these things, at exhaustion, I could debate to its logical end and destroy you. That's not cocky. That's what happens when you use logic. It's cool, If P implies Q, there is a certain absolute truth when it comes to certain things. Let me know what you're doing, what you're up to, how you're fighting this inflation, how you're fighting the things going on in the world right now. Because it's not, there's always problems in the world historically. Not these problems. And it hasn't gotten better, and it won't get better because of the nature of the problems and the technological differential. And once you centralize power and give more power to authoritative governments, they never relinquish that power and give it back. So we're on a very slippery slope downhill, folks. That's how it works. And the difference between communism, 50 years ago, 100 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and now is the technological control they have over us. Okay? The freedoms we've already relinquished that we probably won't get back. I hope you hear me. And if you disagree with anything I say in this video, rewind it, listen slowly, listen again, and see if I've said anything really wrong. Please, we could help one another. Again, for the third time, tell me what you're doing. In the comments below, what do you do to prepare? For whatever that may be. Big things, poop hits the fan type stuff, apocalyptic stuff, everyday things, whatever. What are you doing to prepare? What do you recommend other people could and should do to prepare? And I want affordable things. I want big investments. I want $1 stuff. I want no dollar stuff. I want all the ideas for urban, suburban, rural, farming, homesteaders, whatever. What can we as mankind, as humanity, as children of God, what can we do to prepare? Prayer, that's a part of it, right? And don't even get me into the whole you relinquish control and want to give up being a human, your responsibility, because you think the Bible is all about preparedness. Up, down, left, and right. It's riddled with stories of preparedness, while also concurrently giving it to God. That's our personal thing. Just a little touch there, but respect to whatever you think or believe. Nothing but love for you folks. There's a storm coming. Are you ready?